Okay, so let's start. We have this set of functions up until the coffee is created. At which point we have the lid entity, which we printed out. And at this point, the coffee is done. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to remove or set entity active. We're going to set the lid entity to be not active. Thank you. And then we're going to replace an entity. So replace entity straight up. Interesting. We're going to need the body name, which we do have for the lid, but don't have for the... But we know what it's going to be for the cup itself. So the name of the cup entity I already have stored in attached coffee cup entity. So we're going to get string var get local var string. Gonna get this entity name, and then this is pretty similar. This one is var string, and then I believe that it's plus like underscore empty cup body. So that's the full identifier. And then new entity name is going to be... Now that's interesting because we need to ensure that we don't duplicate the cup entities, right? So we're going to probably make a little helper method here that's going to be a string returning, and it's going to basically guarantee us an available name, right? So get available entity name, and then you're going to do prefix. You're going to pass in a prefix value, and that's basically going to be the root name of it, right? So if I want, let's say here, I'm going to call it as like get available. Again, I wish this was auto-suggesting stuff, but okay. We might actually want to format this a little better, since this is already starting not to fit on screen. I'm going to do something like this. Very standard stuff. There you go. Now it fits nicely. I can even make it bigger. Might be too much, isn't it? It's fine. At least it'll force us to keep things... Well, this is more than 80 characters, but keep things relatively short in terms of lines. And it's easier to read. So the entity name that I want to create is probably going to be like the full cup, right? So I'll just do some sort of like just a cup. Now, what this available entity name is going to do is it's basically going to get like a suggestion, something like a candidate, which is simply going to be prefix. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's not quite do that. Let's actually keep an index, right? Let's start from like 1. And then while get entity exists, and basically we're going to be checking. We're going to be checking prefix plus underscore and then plus index. So while that entity exists, we're going to try another one. We're actually going to increment the index. Right, so that's going to, like, if I put a cup here, that's just going to start assuming that it's going to start with like cup underscore 1. And if it already exists, which also includes the entities that are inactive, then it's going to increment the index. It's going to do it again, where then at that point it's trying cup 2, etc. And we continue until we find one that is available. Not the most performant thing, but for now I think we're going to be fine, because we're soon enough. I think we're going to implement pooling, where there's just going to be a couple of possible entities for each sort of category that can be used. And then once entities are discarded, they're going to be returned to the pool. And from the pool, they're going to be taken as well when we spawn a new one. That way, we will be pretty much resource efficient. But that comes in the optimization pass a little later. Keep checking this. It says that it's very stable, so I think we're fine. All right. All right, so then once we have it, we're just going to simply return the candidate name, which, you know, realistically speaking, we could cache some of this. Like, this is kind of like a lot of string operations, especially in like C++ like languages. You can get into a bit of a memory problem, but we're not going to be doing this nearly as often. And despite not having something like a garbage collector, this still, like, there's a bit of a runtime with Angel code where it's not going to bloat as much, but we are going to be looking at the process memory usage and see if any of that becomes a problem eventually. So, and then the new entity file. So this is the entity that we I think I have it somewhere. Let's check it out. So inside our Amnesia custom story directory, we have an entity that I made in Blender, which is called SPL cup with lid. Okay, so we're going to use that one. Rename ideally instead of remove. Worked really hard on that one. All right. SPL cup with lid entity. And then whether we want to include it in the save file, which we do. Realistically, we should probably do something like comment the individual parameters, because it gets a little, some of the Amnesia functions are a little lengthy in terms of parameter. So we might want to start doing something like that. But again, we'll do that in our refactor pass. So for now, it's all about just replacing the entity. And then, so the lid gets removed and the actual empty cup gets replaced with a cup that's basically full. And honestly, that should be it, because the original entity that we're replacing, while it is attached, so here's the thing, right? Like, let me show you. So there's a little sticky area here. I think we can even see it if I show some sort of like, not player info, inspect mode. Will it show? No, not in inspect mode. Physics debug, yeah, physics debug shows it. If you ignore this like cylinder that is walking around me, that's fine. You also look at that. Look how it's using an entire thing there. Okay, this cube here is basically the sticky area, and whenever an empty cup like this touches that area, it's gonna get like positioned to the center, which is fine. So at this point, as you can see, boom, it gets placed there. I can't detach it. But that also means that there's currently something attached there and another cup can't be attached. Okay, that's a feature that's pretty good. That comes free from the from basically the Amnesia sort of runtime, right? Now though, even if once we replace this, so once we fill this up, right? Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Once this is filled and the lid is on, once I touch this top area with this lid, oh, actually, I think it's going to snap in. It's not even going to wait for that, so we actually need to delay that method a little bit, but that's fine in the clean pass. It will get rid of the lid, but it will replace the bottom entity with the full cup, just sort of like this, right? And that's fine. The question is, will it detach the old one? As in, can another be attached, right? So if okay. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. We replaced it, but then because this is a breakable object, see, very breakable, I think it broke right now, right? And that's mostly because I think it was already colliding with either the It was either colliding with the table or it was colliding with the lid. But you know what we can do? We can probably disable breakable before we replace the entity and then sort of undo that. Breakable is a thing, right? Oh, prop. It's really not break. Oh, yeah, delete all the code. That might solve it. We might want to check the docs. So you want to get a set of it's called like engine scripts or functions. Engine scripts, yeah, that's the documentation page. Here we should be able to breakable break, because we can do it in editor. That is pretty easy for us. But question is, can we disable? We can give it more health, technically. That would be a solution, right? Possibly, if we give it like 100 health, maybe. This might not... Or we can just... Or we can obviously like raise the threshold for the breakability, right? Because it might be just too sensitive. Okay. I think it would be prop related. Let's just sort of see. Okay, hold on. You know what we should probably... Let's try the health strat, right? So set prop health, right? Ooh. I see. Because we're pulling it from the entity file. That means this might not be the right way to go. Even though the lid is inactive, let's actually take a look one more time. See what happens there, because we can still verify that, for example, the entity gets detached, right? Because even then we would have a different type of problem anyways, right? So let me wait for this to clear, because the lid. There you go. Right, yeah, definitely breaks. And let's see if it clears the sticky area. It doesn't, right? So we have to detach it from the area anyways. Sorry. We are currently in a attached callback, so we can in some way like block the attachment, but we can only sort of do that with this one. But we can only do that for the lid. Maybe the solution is to replace the lid instead of the cup. You know, like do it like upside down. That could work, right? Because then I wish we detach from sticky area. Okay, never mind. An internal name of the sticky area. Okay, so number one. Ooh, but won't it just like reattach? I hope not. Well, we first detach the lid, then we're gonna sticky area. Sticky area. Then we're gonna detach the lid from the sticky area, which is already like inactive, so that's fine. And then we're gonna detach, after we replace the entity, we're gonna detach the original entity, the one, the cup. What's that sticky area called? I think we'll have to go back to the level editor. Let's give it a go. Take a quick trip, quick look, level editor, boom. The reason why I have to close everything and open and level editor like separately is because, first of all, like everything is under Proton. So I'm on Linux, meaning, there you go. Look at this. I even made it fit. And I really don't like the Linux versions for a lot of these editors. They don't quite work the same way. Plus, most people will play it on Windows anyways. Okay, let's take a look at what this sticky area coffee. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so that's what we're going to detach from. Okay, so now we deactivate the lid, we detach it from the sticky area, we replace the original entity that is currently stuck to the area, and then we detach it. We might want to do it like this, like first detach and then replace. I hope there's not going to be a bit of a race condition there, because there's a possibility that it's going to... Let's actually log it. Let's have a log when we attach a coffee cup, right? Because then add debug message, coffee cup attached, and we're going to check for duplicate. Let's check for duplicates. Okay. That should let us know if something's happening like in the meantime while we're replacing the entity, right? That should be all within the editor. We're gonna go back into the game. Boom, boom. Yeah. And we'll see. Thank you for the what is it, Boggies? Boggies in chat. Okay, let's see. Again, we're very much in the experimental, MVP phase. This is all about like seeing what works. This is really going to dictate what the architecture is going to be of this. I messed it up. We're gonna have to wait again. There you go. And let's see. So, oh wait, well, I don't have to wait for it to clear, but let's see what happens here. Okay, it is still broken, and but it didn't get reattached. So I think, yes, so now we can actually reattach it, which is good because, oh, okay, yeah, that doesn't reset, gotcha. So there's two things that are happening. One thing, we don't clear the state properly, so it thinks that the coffee is already full, which is fine, but obviously not ideal, and the lid isn't detached. I think it might be because we detach it after we deactivate it, and at that point it might be too late. You might be able to do it only on things that are still active. Yeah. So let's do it like this. We first detach, then deactivate. It turns out that even something like detaching this and then replacing the entity doesn't actually create a race condition. It feels like it's happening in the same tick, which is literally something that plays into our... Let's check out Snow. Let's be... Yes. Yes. It gives the illusion that everything works, even though it doesn't. Oh, damn coffee. All right. There you go. Let's give it one more go, right? Did we refresh? I think we did, right? Boom. All right, yes. Let's give it a go. Boom, boom, boom. This is totally safe coffee, by the way, when it's like going at like hundreds of fluid ounces a second. It's crazy. It's like a fire hose. All right, let's see what happens here. Right. You see that it detached. Well, here are two things. One is, let's see if the lid can be reattached. Well, first of all, this is, I guess, refilled. Yep, it is. Okay, the lid area is still considered being stuck. So I think we're going to reset the state properly, just in case. Well, we don't have to exit for that. I think it might be time to abstract this. This is starting to get a little overwhelming. So obviously we should make a couple of helpers. One thing that we should probably is there's includes now in Amnesia, which is very cool. It's almost like it's a real language. Laughs in .NET. Scripting, maybe? Include. Or maybe I can just search the wiki, include. Oh, sorry, should probably like make it a little bigger. We're talking about, HBL2 preprocessor directives. One of them being include, right? So usage, setting up. Oh, this is not up to date. This one assumes that you're going to use like a preprocessor before. And it's not even the one I wrote. Can you believe that? Cry. The include directive is in language by now. because it's using Angel script, like who knows what. Maybe there's like a... I wish there was a changelog, but they're not very... Frictional Games is really bad at keeping like changelog. I mean, it's supposedly open source, and they made changes to the game, like significant API changes, and didn't update the source code, despite it being like technically illegal, man, because, you know, they released it under GPO, so violating their own their own copyright license. Okay. Nobody's gonna do anything about that, huh? The world is like it is. All right. Yes, we will just sort of try it. We'll do exploration here. Let's do an include and do like common.hbs, right? I don't think there's a semicolon at the end of this directive. I think it just sort of mirrors C++, which I also believe doesn't have, you know, because it's not an expression. And in that case, we should have sort of like common.hbs here, where we are going to try to put one of the just sort of like, yeah, string trim end is a common method example here, okay? And we're going to see if that directive is truly used like we think it is. Alternatively, we're going to cry and not have a great time. We are going to have a great time. Okay, so that's fine. If that works, that is, let's actually like super prove that this works by having like a little void hello, and then yeah, block hint, that's it. Add debug message, and it's going to say, oh, hi. There you go, boom, ... check for duplicates false. And then when we start our thing, we're going to say hello. And if we see that in the logs, we're gonna be happy, and we are. Okay, I know, guys. The logs are super tiny here. Maybe we could, you know what I could do? I could probably grab like a screen region of that and like magnify that. That'd be kind of interesting. I think it's worth it, because honestly, we're gonna observe the log a lot. Let me try it. Okay, I'm just gonna do some quick editing live. I say, while I probably can't. Paste. Oh, okay, sorry, I can. Boom. Copy. Doing some live OBS. Paste a reference. Sure. Now you can't see. Let me put it here. Put a filter here. Gonna do a little crop action. Do it live, you know what I mean? 200, 300, 250. I don't have any fancy schmancy things to like block your view with or anything. It's okay. You will sit here and you will like it. Maybe we'll do 900. That sounds about right. 500. This is like guessing numbers. That's like a pretty cool thing. See how it zooms in? Like that. Yeah, that might be something like, yeah, something like that. And let's do a bottom like no, not 500. That was a little too much. 150. Sorry, this is making anyone sick. Like, oh, that's a kind of crazy view. Oh, actually, hold on. Can we just like scroll this? No, we can't. Oh, but we can do this. Look at that. Live editing. And then from the right side, let's move it a little bit. The true zoomage. And then maybe I can just sort of show and hide it on demand so we can see. Okay, I think this is good enough. Now let me position this sort of like reasonably. Oh no, it's a reference. I'm a goofus. This is just applying it to both. Well, in that case, here's what we do. I'll remove this. Don't worry about it. This wasn't for nothing, okay? And I'll show you by running this once, right? So you can see when I started, it says, oh, hi. See that? Very cool. Now, that was a bit of wasted effort, but that's okay. That's how we roll here. This is what we do. Okay, that means that we can move some of our extension methods, or, well, not necessarily extension methods, but helper methods, or I guess functions in this case, since there is no context of a class, like get available entity name, into our comments, so that we never have to look at it ever again. but still have the benefits of using it. That's pretty cool. I just hope that there's no... I mean, knowing frictional games, there's a good chance... There's a good chance we can just sort of include a script from a completely different custom story. We would have to test it. We would have to give it an actual proper full test, but for now we're just going to assume that that will never happen. So next up, when we have an editor, let's check it out. When we go to the level editor, there is a box that signifies whether an entity is breakable or not. By default, I believe it should be breakable. The issue is, when we interact with these entities through code, they shouldn't be broken. Here it is, and disable breakable, there it is, right? If the entity is breakable, then having this true will make it unbreakable. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do something very scary. We're going to go to GitHub, Amnesia, the Dark Descent, and we're going to check out the source code. And we're going to take a look at what the breakable option does to begin with. And we're truly going to check out, there's a script, functions, script funcs, CPP, where we're going to check out the actual source code, which, by the way, is really funny, you know, isn't the source code for the game that is shipped. Again, you know, scriptional games, yeah. Scriptional games, please fix. Breakable. Okay, it truly, genuinely doesn't break. Maybe break? No. Broken? No. Okay. So it actually doesn't have an API for this. I think there's a catch. There's a catch. There's a catch. Oh, static. When a prop is static, it cannot be broken, right? Something like that. Oh, that's going to be wild in searching for static. Maybe prop static. Okay, you know what? We're going to... Sorry for the noises that the browser did. Maybe we can do static. Oh, it's static like physics or something like that. Physics. Set prop static physics. Now, if you actually read the hint for this, activates and deactivates the physics of prop. Setting it true will make entities static in mid-air. And I believe you can't even break them. And that is the important part for us, because our coffee seems to be easily broken. Don't break my coffee. Oh, this will have to be extracted to... No, it won't. This is fine. This method is a simple getter. It really doesn't... We should probably extract this into a variable, and we will. But first, let's set it static, and we'll see if the replacement keeps the static property, and therefore if it prevents the breakage. We have to go away from editor. Editor, go away, come again another day. And then I want to open it, and it doesn't want to open. Classic. Yo. There we go. You know, they told me that video game development, including mods, and I include... Oh, wow, okay. See, they told me it was fun. Can I look at this now? Now I can be like all fancy schmancy and be like, hey guys, I think we have a problem. Small problem. Yep. Hello doesn't have a signature. Obviously, I removed the method, but didn't remove the method call because I'm like that. You know, going with the flow and all that. I like running the game over and over. That's like one of my favorite things. I was saying that I kind of low-key include game mod development into game development. Like I understand that some people have like really strong opinions about that. They go like, well, you know, and especially like among modders, I feel like there's a bit of a this feeling that like, well, you know, if you're making mods, you're not like a real developer or like a real game developer. And honestly, I don't think so. I just feel like, look, this is the same type of like thing that you're going to be doing, except you're like leaning into an actual like game right now, as opposed to a game engine, which, you know, depending on, can I like work while I yap? Which, you know, if you, depending on how you look at it, oh, it's still broke. You saw that? That means that if you make an entity, sorry, if you make an entity and you set it to be a specific, like you set it to be static, and then you replace that entity, it will, oh, it's actually one of two things. Either it doesn't disable breakability, or it resets once you replaced it. So let's actually try. I think this still happens in one frame, so we can try the prop physics to be afterwards. And then, ooh, but then we need to know the available name. So let's actually do string new cup name so that we can use it here, new cup name. And then we pass it into here, new cup name, so that we can replace it. Alternatively, like good question would be like, hey, but like what happens if we can't do this, right? Like if for some reason it's just going to keep breaking, we can create the entity just from scratch, right? Which is usually done here by creating it at a safe place, safe like a some sort of an area that we have somewhere outside of the map, and then placing it, moving it to our desired position, which hopefully should be done after a lot of it settles. It is also possible that it will be fixed. Well, let's test it now, and then I have a second theory. So theory number one, boom, put it. Dump it. Just like the crypto coin that we have. Boom, there you go. Now pump it. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's perfect. Okay, so I think that what happened here before is that it interacted with the lid and therefore like broke. But I think we can, if we sequence this, this won't happen. What we're going to do is when this attachment happens, it takes a certain amount of time. And the amount of time is actually specified in the editor. It is 1 second, exactly. So we know how long it takes for the lid to be like attached. So we're actually going to start a timer instead. Add timer. Very cool. Can I get like IntelliSense? Thank you. I'm not like, I don't remember the API that well, although like add timer, I probably would remember. We don't need to give it an identifier because actually this will never get canceled. It will be like, let's do 1.1 seconds, since we know that that's going to be a time when it's like pretty safe. And we're going to do something like spawn finished coffee, right? And this is underscored because we don't have the method created. Spawn finished coffee, which is a string timer, and it's a string and in timer. Yep. And inside it, this is when we're going to run our routine. Now, the thing is that we have a lot of things that we need to keep passing. So we're going to have to pass a couple of things, mainly the things that are referencing the parameters into variables, but that's doable. That is nothing that's super crazy. Yep, collapse it all and never look at it again. Yeah, but this should still stay, actually. And possibly the lid entity as well. Yeah, let's include this. We don't need to print this anymore. And this actually we should set local var string. And it's going to be the current lid entity. Yay. Oh yeah, because we trim the sort of like body part. Which sounds gruesome, but it's not. So current lid entity. So then if we need the lid entity, var. Did I use var somewhere? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Lid entity. We can still get it by get local var string. This is sort of just a standard Amnesia approach. Oftentimes, local vars are stored within the save file. So it's better to rely on those as opposed to, you know, actual local variables, which get reset with reloads, map changes, all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, and then sticky area, which is this one, which we kind of know which one that is, right? Like we'll have to, well, when I say we know, I mean, I'm going to have to swap back into the level editor, which is very cool. I love doing that. That is. We should check out if we can launch like the same app on Steam multiple times. That would probably make a lot of things easier because we could just swap between those. Okay, the lid area is, or we could just like know what we name stuff. That could also work. That sounds like work. Sticky area, or we could just use constants, for example. Like obviously when we refactor this, we should definitely include constants. We should actually like extract a lot of this into other files. So we will actually like split this into a sort of like a coffee machine, coffee maker type file, script file, where we'll get to have all the implementation and we won't have to worry about it. It's not that we're gonna like actually reuse it in other maps. We won't, but it's going to be much easier to navigate and work with. Okay, so next up, we got our entity. I don't think anything else is referenced that we don't have. Yeah, I should be fine. And so in this case, what happens is once I attach the lid, right? We remember what the entity is. We're going to, if it's actually like, if the coffee is filled and we allow that, we wait a second, 1.1 seconds, and then we're going to do our sort of like coffee done routine, where we're gonna detach the area so that another lid can be attached later. We're gonna deactivate the entity itself. We're going to detach the actual cup from the area. Then we're going to come up with a new cup name, which we don't have. I think it's fine. I think it's still fine because it's all happening in like one frame. There's no race condition that I keep like thinking about it as if it's like async, but it's not. It's just going to happen sequentially. So nothing we have to worry about. Let's just give it a go, honestly. Let's just try. Try is the first step of failure. Yes, yes. I didn't click the button. You gotta click the button. Turns out. Come on. I'm a professional button clicker. Boom. All right, no crash. Good. Best engineering principles. Okay, so let's see how this behaves, because this should at least give us enough time to wait for the lid to be attached before we start the routine of replacing, and we're still replacing the lid, honestly. So kind of fine. Let's see. Boom. Wait. Boom. Okay. I see you kind of like see how it like kind of like went up, and it still isn't physics based. It should though, I think, be attachable like this. Yep. And honestly, I think a lid should be. Oh, it's not. Oh, it is. It is. It is good. Okay, so this works. We kind of have like two coffees stuck in one, which, if I was working for like CD Projekt Red or something, the creators of Cyberpunk, that would be fine. We could ship it, but we need to fix this. I think that now the static physics shouldn't be needed. Let's actually comment this out, and instead of replacing the... I think we're still replacing the attached coffee cup entity. Oh, so it definitely was that. Okay, so in that case, I think this is solved, right? Boom. Okay. Boom. Get our daily dose of coffee, then boom, boom. Ah, oh, so it's from falling. Does this break when you just drop it like this? It is, it does. Okay, I think we should fix this. It should take a little more to break, which we're gonna do by exploring one other torture device that you haven't seen yet, which is the model editor. Model editor is the kind of C++ species that doesn't like a lot of things. Okay, it's mostly magic, mostly runes. We shouldn't be touched. We open our cup with lid, and I think in user-defined variables there it is, break min energy, which is, if we hover, I know you can't probably read this, minimum energy needed for breakable, and a bunch of like genuine formulas here how this is done. Okay, I think we can, yeah, minimum energy needed for breakage. Let's take a reference. Maybe we should check something that's in the original game that's breakable and see what they've got. We've got 30. Maybe that's not enough. It's, I think, container or something. Anyone sees container? There it is. Vase. Yeah, sure. That should work. Let's see. Vase takes 32. Not 32, like 30 as well. Interesting. That also takes... Although... Oh, but it has more health, I think. This is 40 HP. A vase has 40 HP. Yeah, you heard that right. That is what it is, you know? Of course. Makes sense, right? If you have 100 HP, then you have, like, realistically, as a human being, you have, like, 2.5 vases of health. Like, that checks out, right? I don't know if that checks out. If you had like a strike that is so strong that it breaks 2 and almost 3 vases, then it would kill you. Let's actually lift it to 40. Maybe that's going to do it. And just because I'm paranoid, let's do like 35. We'll see how that behaves. And I don't have the game, so we're going to have to like swap back and forth. This is a little lame, but that's okay. We have the pre-menu disabled anyways, so this should be super quick. I think the health might have been a part of the problem. I wish that there was like some sort of a logging method where we could log a lot more things. So let's see. Does this break? Oh, yep, it does. Okay. 35 wasn't enough, okay? Let's see if we can just launch another instance of this, or if this is going to wait for the exit. So we want our model editor. You can't see, it doesn't like do anything. Oh, but you know what we can do? Oh no, oh, magic, don't question it, just run with it. Just, yeah, everyone say thank you, editor. All right, this is fine. True magic happens when you least expect it, or something like that. Uncle Ben said that. Minimum energy. Okay, you will need 50 energy, which is like the official unit, to break a vase. I mean, coffee. Do you break? You do. Okay, not enough. Okay, first of all, something is a little sus. The entity does get refreshed, right? Okay, let's see. If I disable break active, right? Now it shouldn't be breakable at all. We need to sanity check. Okay, it isn't. Okay, it is refreshing. Good. You need to test that. What do you mean? What if it wasn't real? What if anything is? Okay, energy. That is 50 energy? That's crazy. Is it because it's heavy? I think it's because it's... I think it might be too heavy. Hold on, how much does it weigh? 30. Which, again, 30 units of mass, of course, you know, like the standard ones. Who knows what that is? Let's do 20. It weighs 20. Maybe it was too heavy. Okay. Is it still breakable? Hold on. What if I... Okay, yeah, okay, that looks better. Look at this. Boom. I wish it broke. Not from the fall, but I wish it at least didn't, like, do the... Okay, and if I drop it here, okay, that breaks it. I think this is fine, right? What if I toss it gently, like I do? Boom. Yeah, okay, okay. But then at least if I just drop it like this, it won't break. Okay, I think we got it. I think it was the weight issue. So now, if I take this, right, make some coffee, boom, and now I put a lid on, put a lid on it, bam, there you go. I mean, we all saw the little jump up and down, but at least this is real, right? Like this is a real coffee. Like real coffee, I mean. That was normal behavior, right? Huh. Huh. Does every coffee that I create behave weirdly like that? Oh no. Is it because it's replaced, or is it because we need to create it differently? Because we can always like just create entity at entity, that type of like it's a type of a signature, and then we resolve that way. We solve the fact that like it's like it spawns up. So instead of okay, let's try that. And you know what? Maybe we're gonna launch even more things. We're cool now. We try to launch the level editor as well. Will we be able to? Or is level editor special in some way? It actually might. Oh, no. Okay. This runs. Never mind. Ignore everything I said about like not being able to run multiple things. We're doing it now. We're doing it live. Okay, so instead of replacing entities, we might want to just create an entity verbatim. So I'm going to duplicate this and I'll name it something like coffee spawn area. Okay, and instead of sticky, it's just going to be a script. Which means we can probably curb its size a little bit. Let's do like 0.1 on all axes. So that it's like sort of in the center, right? This already looks crazy, you see that? Wow. Okay, so we have our spawn point, which I'm gonna... Can I... Please? Hello? Oh no, have I been creating lights somewhere? I have, lol. Okay, don't worry about it. Hope there's no like phantom lights anymore. Sometimes the wrong tool is selected and who knows what happens. Okay, back to the VS Code. And instead of sort of replace entity, we're gonna do one of those create entity at area. Huh. I would have sworn that it said entity. The entity name is just going to be the sort of like new cup name. The entity file is going to be SPL cup with lid entity. And then the area name is going to be our spawn, and it will be a full game saved. It's also possible that if we create like a vase or something, it'll the same behavior will happen. It won't be able to break properly, but we'll see. We'll see. This might solve it, honestly. Right? Let's give it a go. Oh, I love this new... Well, I mean, you can't see the taskbar, but it actually says 3 identical processes running. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, so normal coffee breaks, right? Like this. Boom. Very realistic. Much excitement. And then, if I create one from its individual component, everything is temporary also, okay? I know this usually doesn't happen when you brew coffee, this little like mist of doom, okay? Think from Lost. This is okay. Boom. Oh, right. We have to... No. Oh, okay, whew, that almost broke. Does this break normally? It does, yes! Okay, I mean, yeah, I knew that. That's fine, but we also now need to not just replace the entity... we replaced the entity before, so now we need to just actually remove the old entity, which is just set entity active. Which is the original one here. I think it has something to do with the replacement. The replacement doesn't work very well. All right. And now, creation. Behold. Let's actually, let's get rid of these. No, where is it? Draw physics debug. There you go. Let's make coffee the right way. Boom. And then put a lid on it. Yeah. Ooh, I mean, meh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little, it's fine though. Okay, and this breaks normally. That was a fluke, okay? I'm sure, I'm sure that one was a fluke. Please break like what do you mean? Why did you not do? Okay. I mean, technically it's fine. Like, I mean, it's not a big problem. Why? Why do you not want to break into pieces the right way? We could still keep, oh, we can't keep like a pool of these because when they break, they become other entities and then change. Interesting. Well, first we can unindent this before I go crazy. Do we need to... We don't need to do this here. We can just sort of embed this now. We detach from both of these first, and then we perform the entity deactivation, which is fine. And then for some reason, when you create entity at area, or if you replace it, honestly, same thing happens. Which is, well, it still is like a little bit up, right? Like, it still is like a little higher than I would want it to be. Can this little juver get in place? Thank you. Maybe it needs to be, first of all, it might need to be a little lower. It has nothing to do with breakability, but everything to do with my OCD. Okay, let's see. Maybe it needs to be like, is it prefetched? Right, okay, this is fine, right? Like, that's what you would expect. And then, oh, put a thing in it. Put a thingy in this. Okay. You put a lid on it. Okay, that's fine. I mean, technically, like, I'm happy with this, but... You don't need to refill it anymore. This is a feature, okay? Oh, does it break in your hand? It doesn't. Oh, it does. And it broke properly. You know what it might be? It might just be... Is it this part of the freaking floor? No, it's not. What is this conspiracy? What is this conspiracy of the broken floor? I want to have it happen with a normal cup, then I won't have to resolve anything. That's so weird. Well, it does happen sometimes. Okay, most of the times I think this will be fine. That's so strange that custom created things wouldn't break properly. This is fine. Like, you see that, like, that's working, but then, like, is it like magically not working some other times? Yeah, it's okay. I think it's a hit or miss, but I don't know. Sometimes it just like refuses to break. Okay, or like, I mean, this isn't like a, you know, like technically it's not a bug. It's like a visual thing. Cups do a little hop, but unfortunately they don't break the way they are supposed to sometimes. But that's fine. I think this is okay. Let's make sure that we can like redo it properly and that we are forced to restart the progress, right? So we have a thing somewhere that says clear coffee making progress, right? Which destroys the particle systems and the timers, but it doesn't clear the stored data. So when all of this says, right, like on coffee lever state, it asks if the coffee cup is attached, for example. So But that's not true. When is the progress cleared? When you detach a cup, which you can't do, so we should probably stop with that. Okay, I don't need model editor at the very least. Let's see. This. Detach function is useless because we never detach the entity. It just never happens. And then from the top one, okay, the top one doesn't even have it registered. Okay. Right. So we are clearing this only when you let go of the lever. But obviously, we don't want to do that. Like, we don't want to fully clear like the entire process. Like, for example, to be able to attach another thing. So we need to take care of it here when we finish coffee. So when we're detaching from the sticky area, we're going to basically set local variable integer. We're going to set coffee cup attached to 0, like not. And also we're probably gonna set something with a lid. Current coffee filled. Right, we're also gonna reset the filled state. Add local var end. Yep. So it's not. We're gonna clear this. We're gonna make a much easier API to understand because this is a little bit of a mess. Yeah, we'll abstract this. This is fine. Okay, so just this alone should most likely allow us to relatively bug-free recreate coffees, as in like there's a coffee here, like there's a cup here, right? And if I like pour something and then I like go, it resets the timer. Probably shouldn't reset it, honestly. I think it should kind of preserve its state. We'll see how that goes, but you know, you need to like start over. It takes a while and then it's fine. Okay, then we put a lid on it. Then it's fine. It still bounces a little bit. I'll fix that. And we got a coffee. Okay, here, boom, order up. Next up, we'll make another one, right? In the other one, if I try, again, I need to see it's not like automatically filled, right? Like we need to wait a little bit. Good. So far, so good, right? And it's filled. Put a lid on it. Boom. Easy. Next. I wish one day some of these will break properly. Where's the empty lid here? Cup, I mean. Okay, if there's no cup, this shouldn't be filling. Okay, good. It's not. Boom. There is a cup. The last coffee. Yay. And there it is. And if I strike it really hard, see, it disappears. It's a magic trick. Boom. It also might be something to do with the, you know how I said that we won't need the model editor? I was lying. We need the model editor. It might have something to do with the force that we add to the cup. Because I'll be honest with you, it's a little crazy. That's like, it really does bounce up. We might want to tone it down a little bit. Let's see where... Grab, throw, impulse. No. Break, impulse. Add it to all bodies. Yeah. So let's do it to like 2. Okay, so I think that should bounce less. Yeah, okay. Kind of, okay. Okay, that looks like okay. Like, I mean, you know, there's a bit of a skip and a hop, but, you know, call it a feature or something. Make a new one. Another one. Boom. And I think that was it. I think that was it. Well, okay, this could have been a fluke, okay, before I start trusting any of this. It could have been like magically the one that worked like normally, but I think it could have been the force. Yes! Oh, no, I can't believe this. Oh, I almost want to cry. This works. Okay. Mystery solved. Go on, Scooby-Doo. Where are we at? Oh, yeah. Next up, let's make sure that this doesn't, like, bounce. I'll put it lower. You know what we'll do? This might work. So if I, the entity, after I create it, like create entity at area over here, let's extract the cup again. Ugh. String, new cup name. New cup name. While we're here, let's set prop static physics new cup name true. Okay, so we do something like this. Very cool. Anything but the game I clicked. Now the new coffee is going to be sort of stuck in midair, so we can see how much, like how much is it floating. Okay, see? I think I'm just creating it at the wrong area outright. Coffee spawn area. Am I moving the coffee spawn area? I am. Interesting. So... Where's the... Now that I don't need the editor, it's gonna be there every time. Oh my god, please stop. Please stop opening that. Thank you. Okay, whatever. Let's just make it like lower at this point, right? Maybe by that much. Just a guess. Just do it iteratively. It still feel like it's like not moving anywhere, you know what I mean? I kind of feel like this is the same as it was before, but maybe I'm crazy. Let's do it like really like... Okay, does it create it like here? Like on the... Is that the bottom? If that doesn't move, then like, I'm sorry, but I need to like... Oh, you need a cup, bro. That would be really cool if this just started to pour it on the table. It could, I mean, technically, like there's nothing stopping it. Oh yeah, see, did you see that? That's smooth. That is good. That's good. Okay, hold on. Let me not freeze that. I still will probably store it here. Nah, let's inline it. I'm lying. Let's add debug message. Created, or like new coffee created. And then I want to see the new cup name. Sure, check for duplicates, but there aren't going to be any. Since we guarantee that, because every run it's going to find a unique entity name. So let us give this a go again. Okay, this should probably be pretty smooth. So let's see. Okay. Again, this particle system. We should probably do something about the particle system. And then like, yeah, look at that. That was good. There you go. That really looked nice. And then again, oh, don't even, no, it's fine. You know what is happening, I think? I think it's when the lid pushes the cup through the floor, they both disappear. If I throw it like sideways, will it happen still? Okay, look at this. Okay, it will. Never mind. Theory debunked. But it's okay. We now know that this is just a sort of visual bug that sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't. So we'll see. The physics system is kind of crazy. Like sometimes entities like get created properly and the drop happens as you would expect, and sometimes it's not. This is fine. Let's actually make like one more just to be sure, you know, that everything works, and then we can refactor this. Or actually, we could probably address the... Yeah, see? Very nice. Oh, I'm very rough with it. Oh, there you go. Did you see that? Oh, yeah. See, that one worked. Cha-ching. Very nice. Okay. To refactor this, we're gonna probably extract the entire like coffee creation into an include. Oh, although it doesn't have an on start unless we specifically call one. And then particle systems. Yeah, but for long term, I think it's important. So let's make a new sort of like a coffee.hbs, which is going to be for sort of our coffee methods, right? Here we're going to have an on start, but it's going to be like a coffee. Can I do like a on the start? That would be pretty cool. I think the signature should be valid. I think underscores are valid for in Angel code. Coffee on the start. Don't forget to include it. Ooh, but what if can it do like a transitive include? So if I do coffee HBS, sorry, and coffee HBS uses common, will it be able to do it like this? I think that's a syntax error, right? Like that won't. Oh, it will. I'm not completely sure if like transitive dependencies should be done like that, but I wonder if it like duplicates the. I'm gonna ask. Oh, actually no. I think the interpreter, the preprocessor is from Angel code, so I believe that it's done reasonably well. So I think let's just assume that it's fine. So oil jar and coffee pour is gonna be in our coffee on start, right? So that way, let's actually make sure add debug message, coffee on start. Did I not show? Oh, I hid debug messages. Okay, coffee on start. It is shown. Believe me, it is. And we don't need to write the on start here. And then all of these methods. Ooh, question is, let's give it a go. If we take everything from here and we simply paste it into the coffee file, and we just have this, will everything still work? No errors. Yep, so far so good. Okay. Boom, coffee created, cup 5. No. Okay, yeah, that was fine. It broke. In like the intended way, the intended type of broke. You know what I should probably do? Like, given that I'm like cave coding here, like maybe I don't know what else I can. I probably use like a light theme for OBS or something to illuminate myself. That's fine. I don't want to turn the full light on or anything. Maybe I can do this. Ooh, oh, that's bright, huh? Look at this. There you go. That's reasonable. A little mood light. Yeah. I break. Uh-huh. And this doesn't work without it. Yep, okay. All right. So since that is working, let's continue on the optimization here. So now from in the main file, you know, where basically all of the logic about the story elements and stuff will be, I don't have to worry about the coffee creation at all. That's all in this specific, I guess you could call it a module. Effectively it is. I believe we can declare constants here. If I do a constant string, let's say greeting, and I do coffee on start, And then I use greeting. Will it be in scope? It is. Okay, so I can. So that means, I won't do that, by the way, but that means that our, we're going to extract some of the things that are repetitious so that we can ensure that we basically get a compilation error instead of a runtime error for misspells. So here, let's do like a overflow article. Articles? Overflow PS? Yeah, overflow PS. Because those are oftentimes PS. Could be PS overflow. That's okay. Naming things is only most of our job. Overflow PS. And then wherever I was saying that, I'm going to say overflow PS because it's going to be a lot easier here. Next up, I'm going to do the coffee pour. Constant string. And that's like pour PS. Or coffee PS. And then let me just find and replace this. Boom, boom. Okay. Let's extract a couple other constants. So for example, yeah, in some way the variables, at least the keys for the variables, I definitely will. But definitely all the areas. Now I'm thinking, let's rename this. Let's actually rename it. Does it have to? I guess there's my answer. Doesn't. No. Boom. Not this one. Okay, it doesn't. It does not. Let's do PS. Oops, what was it? PS overflow. Oh. Overflow. Something like that. Okay, and we're gonna PS for coffee. Whichever standard you sort of decide to go with, it's entirely up to you or up to the team, obviously. It's just sort of a good idea to stick with something that makes sense. In my case, I decided to prefix the particle systems with PS. It probably helps because if you're trying to find particles, you can just search for PS underscore and then you kind of find them all. You could search for underscore PS, but it could be like part of a different name. Whereas like this type of search might yield basically only the constants. And then for areas, we similarly will create a block where we kind of do area and then like coffee or. One thing to keep in mind is that these constants share basically the namespace with everything else, including the script that includes it. So this should be unique. I can't really like just think like, oh well, but it's part of the include, so about part of this sort of module, then it's fine. It's not. It will still, like if I define it here, but also in the shop HPS, then we're gonna get a compilation issue because after the preprocessor basically just concats it together with some extra steps. Let's see. I did the coffee pour area. Yeah, right? And then it's just there. Still okay, even if it's just one occurrence. It is probably good for us. Let's also do vars. Let's extract var. Current cup. Name it current cup. Again, like I know it's this, but then it's easy to rename the variable. Like what is on this size really doesn't matter because we have it pretty much referenced just by the actual variable name. Constant name, I guess, so. So this is fine. Another variable will be current coffee filled. So we can do const string var is cup full. And again, this is what we want to use. This is what we're gonna replace it with. Yep. So we don't forget about anything. Creating particle system at entity is fine because there's an entity here for overflow, which is, oh, sorry, no, coffee overflow area. Oh, okay. Yep. Const string area coffee overflow. Again, I can't just name it overflow because I feel like there reasonably could be another thing named that in the parent script, in the referencing script. Yeah. There you go. It's very cool. Isn't this a joy of modding? You know, it makes it like it's a bit of a cleanup, you know? This is joyous. It brings good vibes. Okay. You know what we should do? Could switch the color theme, huh? Give us a completely fresh look. Frontier, that looks kind of cool. There's something like fall? Wow. There isn't. Those are light. Get those light ones off of there. Too much. Oh, there was one called coffee. It looks horrible. Aye. This is, by the way, an extension called Rain Glow, which has or brings so many of these different themes to VS Code. Piggy, contrast. Shrek! This one's called Shrek. Or maybe we can do like Dark Shrek. Are we cool? I don't think we're cool. The contrast one would probably, like, many of the contrast ones are probably good. Ted. Now that I started this, now I'm like stuck. Now I won't be able to pick a good one. Yule. Sure, we're gonna go with Yule. Looks pretty codey. Does it have different syntax highlighting in the like modern? Come on, color 3 modern. It doesn't. Sure. let's just go with the default for a little bit. Okay. So refactoring. So again, these are fine. Create particle system. This is the name of the particle system, which it does reference multiple times. Now, let's have a system where we're gonna say PSN for particle system name, I guess, or like a reference. Yeah, PSI for like particle system instance. And we'll just remember that that's what we're doing. PSI overflow. I know I said that, but yeah, this is okay. Because this is basically the only overflow reference. If we run into an issue where we have a collision, well, first of all, it's going to be a compilation error instead of just a, well, yeah, it is a compilation error instead of a runtime error, which we want to have as many of those as possible, as opposed to runtime errors, because runtime errors we won't necessarily notice. I forgot what this was. Coffee pour. Yeah. Coffee pour. it's sort of like this type of like forward declaration where we make first like a list of things. It's going to be much easier to reference things. You know, you sort of define them once and then reuse. It's a good pattern not to get too overwhelmed. So the timer, let's pre-declare the timer as well. Timer. This one is coffee progress. And this is the name of the timer because it has 2 references already. The one time I don't actually copy it with the double quotes. Kind of crazy, isn't it? There you go. And pour done is the identifier of the method, so this is fine. And the reason this is fine and I'm not extracting this into a variable is because if this won't work, like if I misspell this method, the IntelliSense will tell me, and then if I do the other way around, obviously this will also tell me. So this is already checked as a sort of, I guess, not even like definitely not a runtime error, but even earlier than a compilation error. This is like an in-editor error. What is... Oh, okay, we have the overflow. I just kind of didn't replace all of these. Replace? Is this one referenced too? No, it's not. That one's proper. We're kind of hunting for these like hard-coded strings and seeing if we can detach them. Attached coffee cup entity can definitely be extracted into a variable. This one is const string var current cup is wrong. So first of all, let me just comment this. This needs to get rewritten because this is actually is coffee cup attached. Okay. And then this one is var coffee cup. Because this is the entity. Then instead of saying this, we're going to be saying the variable name there. Very cool. Very nice. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Those are nice. References. Current lid entity is another variable. Yep. Makes sense. Constant string var coffee lid entity. So we have a coffee cup entity and now we have a coffee lid entity. I like how these are the same length because cup and lid. Very cool. Those things always feel super nice. So neat when it's like, ooh, same length. Sometimes people do a bit of a formatting thing. This is very frequent in some C++ code bases where they do this, where they do like a little alignment here. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I can see the appeal of this. Like, it looks kind of cool. But the thing is that not every line will be the same length here. So like this starts like here already because this group is like has shorter names. I tend to not do that. Again, personal preference might be something that you want to use in your scripting. Could be. Question if we want to get those lid body sections, but I don't think we do. And I think we have a hard-coded 14 somewhere. Here, yeah. The 14 comes from the body name, which is empty cup underscore body. It's this 14 characters. 13 actually. Oh, you're right, because it comes with an underscore. That's 14. Dot length. This is much better than hard coding the 14, because then it's just a random number like 14. Why 14? Why not 13 or whatever? And it's difficult to really like understand what the poet wanted to say by that. Whereas something like this is pretty self-explanatory. It's the length of this, and then you can sort of like, oh, okay, so it's like a suffix of something and stuff like that. Again, this I'm not replacing because this is a signature of the thing and it gets checked by the editor. Coffee is not filled yet. I don't think we need to debug message yet. We should probably remove the debug messages that... let's leave some of them in, because we might want them later. But let's keep them to a relative minimum. Coffee cup attached, for example, really doesn't need to get printed. And then technically coffee on start also doesn't have to get printed. Yeah, let's not be that way. And then I think we're kind of fine. Detach from sticky areas. So there's these sticky areas. Question is if I want to treat them as special, as different like areas, like sticky area, constant string S area, like as a sticky area. Sticky area, kind of crazy, no? Sticky. Let's have them like sticky. Sticky area, sticky lid area. I'm gonna have it as like a suffix. I think this is fine. And again, it's just one occurrence, but in case we rename any of these areas, it's good to have it pre-declared like this, because then we don't have to go hunt for all the usages in code and risk the problem of, missing some of those instances. I know we could probably do like a find and replace, but what if it's concatenated from different words or something? Sticky. Sticky. Coffee. I think this is sticky cup area, actually. Well, actually, I know where that is, right? This is how errors begin, but we will test it. And question is, do we want to, for get available entity name, if we want to make sure that that sort of cup name is stored as well, like the cup prefix? I don't think so. Actually, it's not cup. It's more like a coffee. That's already like a coffee. I don't think we'll be checking things by their name. Oh, will we? I think we will. We will, because here's why, right? Some entities that we name will need to be checked by their collisions with an area, and so they will need a collide callback. And I don't think we can do just like a generic one. Let's see what the editor tells us. So this is a normal area, and in terms of areas, it has look at callback and interact callback. So it doesn't. So it has to. So for items, it has to have a specifically registered callback. So that means when we create the coffee, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to register callbacks. So I think we're going to have another extra module that's going to be responsible for creating new instances of stuff, or at least registering the created stuff. So if one of the machines creates like a cooked whatever, like cooked cookie, baked cookie, I guess, or a finished like coffee, it's going to say, hey, I've got a coffee here, a new one with this name. And then the other module is going to go, okay, and let all the other areas know, like for example the area where you return stuff, like where you serve things to people, to customers. Then that's when it's gonna be, hey, expect this type of entity to possibly be created. We can also register other callbacks, and I think we can register a callback for destruction, as in like, hey, deregister it as well when if you drop it, right, and break it, so that the collisions or the callbacks don't stack like infinitely. But for now, oh, definitely the entity. Definitely the entity. Although the entity, reasonably speaking, should be in a different module, because those entities are going to be, yeah, those entities are going to be used from all the other things, and we don't want to redeclare them. So this one is entity, and this is coffee lid, because this name is insane to remember and just sort of like reproduce. Boom. Coffee spawn area also is an area. Constant string area coffee spawn. Very, very well, very good. We can make abstractions for some of these methods too, so that we don't like repeat too many of them. But this refactoring should have worked, and in reality this should just still work, right? So if I take, well, first this shouldn't do anything, and it doesn't. Then if I put the cup there, that's possible. I shouldn't be able to put a lid on that yet. Can't. I can technically like leave it there, right? Like that is, I'm not preventing any of that. But once it's filled, there you go. Then I can put it back. Boom. You can see there's coffee 1. If I'm very gentle, maybe it'll screw it. This is what it's supposed to look like. Very good. Let's make another one. I haven't seen it glitch out when I'm holding it in my hand. I think when it's something about the throw or something, right? Like, because if I'm pretty sure if see, when I'm really strong and like holding it in my hand, it doesn't tend to break. You can, by the way, do one of these. Whoop. Very cool. You can be like a pro, throwing lids around, kind of like this. Look at this. Boom. Yep. True skill. And then you go, coffee up. Ah. Look how close. If this was like a competition, I'm pretty sure I would win. Oh. That's okay. Intended behavior. Okay. That refactor worked. So that's extracting constants, which that makes the actual code a little clearer. And now we're going to take a look at if we can refactor some of the methods, right? Like as in the actual way we're doing things. For example, I think we're doing a bunch of redundant work. So on coffee, maker lever state changed. So that means whenever you move the lever in some way, right? So if you're moving it, we have the benefit of knowing that when it moves, the only time it actually moves is when either you are moving it to a on position, possibly, or if you let go and it's moving back. which means that there's practically no way of leaving it on, for example, and then trying to interact with the entity, because when you're holding it down, right, as in it's pouring, and then you let go to grab the coffee or something, the lever is automatically moving into the off area, so there's no way you can break the system in that way. The main control variable for us is if the cup is attached. We can probably remove the need for this variable if this is checked by simply checking for the entity itself, the coffee cup entity, because it's going to be empty when we don't have it. So let's see. Let's search for this so we have it like highlighted so we know where all the references are. Yeah. And you know what? We might as well create like a helper method that helps us basically answer a question. So the code is more readable, really. So we're going to make like a helper method which returns a bool, so true or false. And it's going to be, what we're asking is coffee cup attached, right? And you don't really need to provide anything because we will determine that by, right now it would be determined by if the is coffee cup attached is like 1 in this case. But what we're going to do is we're going to get local variable string, and our, is coffee cup entity. So if the coffee cup entity is an empty string, so there isn't any. Oh, sorry, is not an empty string. So if it is anything other than an empty string, then obviously a coffee cup is attached. And for us, it'll mean a simplification of this entire expression, where we get to write code that reads a little better. If is coffee cup attached. Yeah. It's a standard thing to prefix it with is. I know it doesn't quite read like English, if coffee cup is attached was probably what you would expect, but this is simply signifying that this is returning a Boolean. But still. And then this checks if, notice that if the coffee cup, oh, and by the way, we introduced a bug. Because if it's not attached, if not is coffee cup attached, or, and then again, what is all state not 1? Well, it realistically means that it's not on, right? The actual state, the lever state, isn't on. So if there's no coffee cup, or the lever isn't on, then you clear the coffee making progress, right? So we don't, so we start over in some way. But then we check if the coffee cup is full, actually. Which is not the same thing, yeah. So we're not doing extra work. This is checking for overflow. If the coffee cup is full, then we create the overflow particle effect. Otherwise, after that, we definitely create the pour. I think maybe it could be done in a different way, like this, in this order. So it makes a little more sense. There's a guard clause before, right? The things that we do, the conditions when we don't want to execute, we return. And then if everything goes well, then we create the pouring effect. If it's already full, then we create the overflow effect. And then we wait 3 seconds in this case. We can probably have a constant for that. Float coffee fill time. We can do like, let's say 2.5 seconds. And instead of hard coding it, we can use the constant. That's going to be a lot easier because then from here you can sort of like manage all of the things. If like, oh, well, this should be shorter, maybe this should be longer, then you can just tweak it here. Again, you don't have to go into the code. But that is fine. Okay, so this is I feel like this is pretty okay. And then from this, coffee pour done. But why do I have to like scroll down here, right? Like this should be closer. So coffee pour done, we're gonna get this method and we're gonna move it closer. So that's realistically like how I'm reading this. Coffee pour done. Now, this also assumes that the coffee cup is already attached, right? So this helper method should probably be below this, right? Because I'm using it in this order. And also, when you attach the coffee cup, that's actually something that happens logically before I pull the lever. At least I would expect it to, right? So when you attach the coffee cup, normally here you set this variable to 1. We're not going to do that anymore. We're just going to set the coffee cup entity. Which will give it, like, that'll get it a name. You can't detach it yourself, so we don't have to worry about those types of states. And then eventually pouring will get done. Right? At which point, yeah. We set the cup to be full and create the overflow effect ourselves because it doesn't, because there's no lever movement at that point. It simply triggers after a certain amount of time. There might be a use case for extracting a method that basically just creates the entity, the particle system, but realistically speaking, that's like it would be just wrapping this one call that seems a little wasteful. Then the procedure of clearing the coffee making progress is simply done, or what happens is we clear the particle systems and remove the timer. Yeah, that just checks out. Then there's a concept of the lid being attached, which happens realistically after all that. So that makes sense to me, right? Where you set the coffee lid entity, again, because we know what we just attached. And if the coffee cup is full, then we finish it. Oh, right, gotcha. So actually, I feel like this is a little incorrect because this says that you can't attach, but we already set a variable of what was attached. So actually, this should just be inverted a little bit. So this statement, or this conditional, should basically say if the variable, like, so if the cup isn't full, if you're trying to put a lid on and the cup isn't full, then just say set allow sticky area attachment false, basically saying it's not allowed to be attached, and then return. And then we don't have to worry about this other branch, and we don't have to worry about this condition either because we know it will be true, because otherwise it would return over here. There you go. That way, this is a more of a standard. Again, it follows more of this type of standard where it's called a guard clause, where you want to return early is also another name for this principle, where you want to check the conditions when you do not want to execute, return from those, and then after that you sort of have the happy path of like, you just know here you can just execute because you know the conditions were met. That makes sense. And then we start a timer because this is the attach time, the attachment time. Question if we want to extract those. I don't think we do because it's more or less the editor. It's almost like it's basically something that's defined in the editor. But whatever. For now, I feel like this is fine to be in this place. And then the next method is, or the next function actually is what we expect, which is spawn finished coffee. And here we have a routine that looks a little heavy because it's a lot of statements one after another, but realistically, let's see what we do. We get the lid entity, but we only get it to use it just here. So actually we can inline this and get it straight from there. And now if you look at it, we actually synchronized with the call from below. We're doing the same thing. Now it's looking a lot better because now it's looking, you know, very similar. It's also the same length again, just like I was talking about lid and cup. Very cool. Detaching from sticky areas, I know should happen before the entity actives, but there's no reason to detach one, then set variables, and then detach another. We might as well just detach them at the same time. So it's now, again, looks a lot. We actually might do it kind of like this. Now those look like logical groups, right? Like they kind of work together. Detach the lid and cup area, then set. Oh, and here's the thing. Set is coffee cup attached. It's now what we want to set. We want to set the entity, yeah, this one that we get here, cup entity. So I can't clear it here because then it would interfere with this. So the setting of those variables should happen only after we created the entity, which kind of makes sense actually. So yes, so this will be a string that we're modifying. We're modifying the cup entity and we're setting it to an empty string. While we're at it, it's actually not necessary, but we can set the lid to be also empty, just to be maybe a little more, I guess, to be safe. It's kind of unnecessary because the system doesn't quite check the lid. The only times the lid is checked is once the... Yeah, actually, the only times it's when it's set, and then in this very method when it's gotten. But there is a possibility that if we refactor this or if we add future features, we might introduce a bug if we don't clear it as we expect. It's kind of better safe than sorry over here. Let's check where this is used anymore, and it's not actually used anywhere. So we can clear this variable further. Oopsie. Is coffee cup attached? We don't use that anymore. And there you go. We use one less variable just by checking the thing. So now the cup entity. Let's see if we broke anything, if we introduced a so-called regression. First, let's see. Spilled coffee. Can't cry over that, even though it's not milk. Oh, we should have... Well, we'll test it on the second round, right? So this is where if I stop it, restart. Yep, that checks out. So far, so good. I can't put a lid on it, right? Nope, cannot. Perfect. Okay. Now I can put a lid on it. It turns into a real coffee, which, yes, breaks really well this time. I think it has something to do with like how strong the throw was, I think, possibly. Okay, now we can't pour anything because we don't have a cup there. Let's use this cup. Yep. Now we have a cup there. We can't put a lid on it. We can, but what we can do is we can leave the lid on it. Look at this optimization. Boom. See? And that's, I kind of like that. That's kind of like, ooh, see? That's like a strategy for like the pros, you know? I like it. I like it. Technically, it could be a bug or something, but it probably isn't the strength of the throw then. But I'm going to consider it a feature. Because it's like if you know about that, then you can already prepare like a lid for that. And it's like, cool. And you put it here and you go, there you go. And this one's wrong. And then, yeah. See, I don't know. I'm kind of happy with like how this goes, how this happens. And there you go. So now we have the module the coffee module working. The only thing is that the overflow, first of all, isn't even at the top of the cup. Let me make a duplicate here. Can we see where it is? I think this is the overflow area over here. Coffee overflow area, yeah. I think it needs to be a little lower. That's one thing. And I guess we could leave this cup here. Uh-huh. And then I think we can address, let's see if we can even address the particle system. So first, let's see what the particle system is, which is super easy here. Again, you just see, hey, overflow is PS oil jar. PS oil jar. We're going to open one more scary thing here, which is material. No. Particle editor. There it is. Particle editor. Very cool thing. We also, okay, so I think I'll do the overflow. We'll see if we can do a better, wow, look at this magic. I changed the size of this and it only changed like, you know, it only changed the window, but nothing stretched. That is golden. See that? That, ladies and gentlemen, that's Amnesia. That's what we live for. Bravo. Bravo. This is some coding effort right here. This is what you call responsive design. Okay, and now I was so baffled by this, I almost forgot what the oil particle was. Let's see, it's supposed to be in particles. Uh-huh. Something with oil. I'll double check just to be sure. PS oil jar. Oil jar, there it is. And basically, like, we can see, I'm gonna like kind of hide some of this, right, because, you know, it's a little annoying to look at. So this is it, right? And that's really heavy. So what we're gonna do, I think we're gonna save a copy. I'm gonna copy, and we're gonna go into our custom story. Articles. What do we have? Speaks. What even is that? Aspix? Oh, I think that's from the original. Why am I putting my own things in there too? Whatever, don't worry about it. Oh, SPLCS. Okay, don't worry about all that. We'll do PS, SPL for another like spellless custom story. And then we'll do coffee overflow.ps. I'd have to change. Okay, so this is like good. I like that, like what it looks like. I just feel like it's, first of all, it's huge. Okay, like this is big. And I think it has a couple of components. So it has the emitter, it has another emitter, and then it had, oh, it's 3 emitters. Okay, so one at a time. Maybe we can color them. Oh, this one is like kind of like light blue, so it has like a bluish tint. What if we delete it? All of them have a bluish tint. What if I just have one? Oh, okay, so this one is just the little like surface one. And then, okay, the first one I can delete. Oh no, the first one is like the spitter at the top. The second is like the big smoke, and then the, you know, and then the last one is like the surfacing. So each of them, now we know what they are, right? So the first one is the little like splash. I love it. I love it. I'm like, I just genuinely feel like it's pretty good. Maybe we can change the color. Let's see if we can, because why is this like light blue, right? Like what if we just set it to red? Will it be like red? Min color, max color, all red. Like, is it red? Yes, it kind of is. Look at this. It's very difficult to see, but there's like a little like red dots in the center. What is this? What about start relative color? Okay, they just made it fully transparent, and I think they knew what they were doing. Middle relative color, that's just sort of, oh, almost full. If I do full and like blue or something, what happens? Nothing. Okay, what if I do like, so that's why, so I'll do like less, it'll be more transparent. Okay, fine. And then this, we're gonna, I guess we're gonna pick like a brown or something, right? Like for coffee. Like this brown, maybe. Kinda, yeah. Like it makes next to no effect, but that's okay. That's the emitter. The emitter is fine. The first one, that is. So the spatter. I shouldn't do like copy of, like, okay, let's name it like normal people, not like fictional games. Spatter. Spatter or spitter? Spitter. Let's do spitter. That's cool. And then this one is like the big. Oh, you know what? Maybe we don't want the big like smoke. Because we'll just want that. Ooh, but now it starts like kind of from the center. That's fine. I think that's okay. I guess they were hiding this little part that's like spattering. And then this one will be called like the surface. Surface. Working with particle systems is genuinely like really fun. Like this is super cool. Yeah, like you control a little things, and you know, a bunch of little things, and you sort of like change a bunch of parameters, and it all like happens in real time and everything. Like this is always like really fun. Now we're addressing this like the surface blob, which I feel like that's what's too big. So let's see. Maybe we can change that somewhere. So I think the location is kind of maybe okay, unless we want to, let's see about the location. So the start. The start is set to box here. I know it's like probably super obscurely hidden. Maybe I can like, again, make like a section here, like the filter section. Kind of like I had here, this crop, but yeah, but if I do that, look at this. Oh, okay, it does work. Let me introduce like another crop. What wouldn't I do for the viewer experience? Let's do 2000, and then from bottom, let's just do like a... Yeah, sure. See, there you go. Now you get to see a lot more. Maybe I can even put it like this. See, perfect. Now I'm sure the viewer experience is much better. I don't have to be that brighted up, because honestly, this has been illuminating, no pun intended. So it's set to box, right? And then the box settings are right here, which that tells us that this is in the center. Which means this is about as small as this gets, unless we find a specific size for movement. The box velocity is general, that's sort of how it's moving. Sphere velocity, that's sort of like, again, that's just how big, or sorry, where it's moving and how it's moving. Min size, here's size, there you go. This is already set to like 0.1. Let's first try to make it bigger, and we will see if this works. So 0.5 everywhere, 0.5, yep, that is true. So this is the size. So instead of 0.1, we're gonna go 0.05 and see if this seems more reasonable. And again, 0.5 and 0.5. There's always a minimum and maximum size, so it will randomize between those. This looks a lot better. Look at this. This is much better, right? So we'll place this on the surface. Notice that actually the particle system is kind of floating above a little bit, right? There's like an offset, which is like, okay, looks so cool, yeah. It really does. I think it is so that, you know, if you look like from here, so it's like spattering more wide, whereas here at the bottom, it would be more straight up. So it's okay. We will place our particle system a lot lower, but I think maybe a better way of doing this would be to like start the surface on the actual ground so that we know where to place it, and then start the spitter lower. So let's just see if that is even a thing that we're doing right now, because the surface, it might just be, it would have to be defined somewhere. Yeah, no, this is the angle. Sometimes these fields are a little hard to read. I think we'll go, okay, first we need to address the color anyways. So let's just sort of pick our coffee brown type of thing, which again doesn't quite like make it so, because the material that we picked, like PS oil, can we preview it? PS oil. Maybe it was already there. Probably was, I just didn't see it. It's probably going to be pure black too, because it's going to be black on black. Oh, see, we have bubbles. Very cool. I like bubbles. Oh, there it is, PS oil. It's like black on black, which we could probably use mist, couldn't we? No. That's just going, that's too transparent on the other hand. Sure. Is this still not too big? I guess we'll test it. We'll test it in game. So we'll save this. Note that this is our saved copy, so it's PS SPL coffee overflow. So we're gonna edit it in code. Let me change the filter. Don't worry. Boom. Yes. Right. Let's update the particle system, because here, just instead of PS oil jar, we're going to do PS SPL coffee overflow. And unfortunately for us, I believe we need to restart the game, or at least reload the story. I think. Yeah, okay, preload particle system. Okay, so let's see if this is good. Boom, and let's overflow this. It might be placed incorrectly, but yeah, it is. So this is good if this was lower. If this was lower, like, I think this is great. Let's see where we placed it. I think we placed it, like, in contrast to this one. This is like the test cup. I think we placed this area. Sticky area lid, no. Really? Oh, it's, I think, this one. Yeah, coffee overflow. Yeah, we already placed it a little lower, but not nearly low enough. So, coffee overflow, let's move it like down. Like, maybe like even like this. Let's see. That makes it better. Oh, that's too low. That's too low. It looks super cool. Like, look, it actually kind of looks like that. Actually, maybe it could like always play. This looks good. Like, maybe it could always play this, and then when it's overflowing, it would on top of that do like one that's higher. So one of them would be like the lower one, and then it would do a higher one, wherein like if it's full, it would kind of look something like this. This actually looks so good. Like the particle system fits so well. It's actually the perfect size too. So then we can decide, ooh, yeah. Is it too small? Oh, no, it's not. Look at that. It kind of like filled up almost. This looks so good. Look at that. I can't believe this. Maybe we could just leave that. There should be like one more particle system that's not the spatter, but basically only the... It's like, it should be like only... Look how it dries up. What the... Did you see that? Was something flying here? Was that one of the snowflakes? Guys. Either that or some fairies or something. Yeah, like this. Look at that. That looks so good. This looks so good. I think this should keep living. And then we delete it when... Okay, yeah, let's totally do that. That works so well. Let's get back to our thing. And we just do a very quick change, right? Here, we're basically going to make a copy of this, right? Save this as PS coffee and not overflow, but like... I guess this would be like a line or something, right? This would be like the, what do you call like a water line? I guess height, line, a surface, coffee, surface, because it's the surface of the coffee. That makes sense to me, at least. And then what we're going to do is the spitter, we're going to get rid of the spitter, and it's just this. And so this is the thing that appears inside the cup, and it almost like moves up. And it only moves up because once it's full, so it starts low. So we're going to start with a low overflow, and then it's going to move to... Yes, then it's going to... Right. Then it's going to move to a surface higher up and overflow if you're flowing. It makes sense in my head, okay? Let's do save here. Boom. And we're going to extend our method real quick. Don't worry about it. I know. Yeah. We're going to have another PS. Coffee, surface. Coffee, surface. Okay. So we will preload this as well. Not sound. Preload particle system. Exactly. And then let's have areas for this, right? Because right now we only have this one, which is the coffee overflow area, and it's correct, but it's just like the place where you need to be at the top. So this is where I guess the line will appear. Yeah, and so we're gonna have one that's lower than that, right? So it's gonna be coffee, and not overflow area, but sort of like a filling area, let's call it. Coffee filling area. Yeah, and that's the only extra area that we need. So here, constant string area, coffee filling. Yeah, coffee filling. There you go. So when you pull the lever, crank. Pull the lever, crank. Right. Yeah. So we start this. This is fine. Sorry, this is the timer. Yeah. We start this, which is the pour, but we pour it at the... Oh no, right. So that's just the liquid itself. That's fine. We will adjust that too for it to be like black. But then we only add the overflow once you are once it's full. But the difference is that we actually need two things. So we need an instance of... We need two instances, possibly. That's okay. So there will be an else. Else is basically we're not full yet. So you still create the overflow effect, but you actually created it a different area. Now there's a possibility you went from overflowing... Oh, could it be? No, you can't. You can only go the other way around. Meaning, this is wrong, by the way. This should be like a different instance. BSI flowing. Oops. Coffee I guess, filling. Sorry, not flowing. PSI coffee filling. Constant string. PSI coffee filling. Coffee filling. So that we can stop it as well. Because these will happen forever until you stop them. So it's not forever. But if you don't stop them, then it would be forever. So we pull the lever. If the cup is full, we play the overflow. We instantiate the overflow one at the overflow area. If it's not, then we're going to do like the same thing, but lower. So it's just going to be looking a lot better. And once it's full, we actually are going to make another particle system here. That's going to be PSI fill, which is, like coffee line, coffee surface. Right, let's create that too. Coffee surface, that one we don't remove until the lid is completely on. So it looks like there's stuff inside it. Because I was wondering how I'm going to do the surface, right? And the surface possibly rising. This is exactly it. I can do it by this reference. So the surface gets removed once the coffee is done, which spawn finished coffee checks out probably. Yeah. So before we detach stuff from the things, we're gonna actually, I guess it's stop particle system, right? No, is destroy a particle system? Yeah, destroy particle system. So destroy the surface of the coffee, right? Because it doesn't need to render after, like, you know, the coffee's been removed. Or the cup, the lid has been put on. So that's this. Now the coffee filling, will it ever be destroyed? Currently not, but it needs to, and it will happen in either two states. Either when the coffee making progress has been halted. So here, destroy particle system. So the coffee filling will stop existing if we haven't finished filling it up. Because obviously the overflow... Why would the overflow be destroyed, by the way, if the only place this is called from is actually the... Oh, yeah. Because that's... Yeah, that's... No, that's correct. Don't worry about it. Should the coffee filling or the surface be also destroyed? No. Because you only get the surface once this is like fully done. Which the overflow has to happen, but when you stop pulling the lever, the overflow gets destroyed because the spatter disappears, but the surface should stay. So that's why we don't actually get rid of it. That's fine. And that's why we do that. But the filling area, because either you are in overflow and you stopped pulling the lever, or you're still filling and you stop pulling the lever. Both cases mean stop with the particle system. And that, I think, yeah, I think this could do it. Like, let's see. This looks so cool. Okay, well, maybe we need to like restart the custom story for the particle system to kick in. Maybe, I don't know. I'm doing it at this point by like magical thinking. So, boom, right? Then we start. Look, it kind of, see how it's like inside, and I leave. It stops, right? I look inside, I see some, but it's like disappearing. That's okay. That's kind of fine. It's kind of like Pepsi, you know, when it like fizzles out. Oh, let me get some Pepsi. And then you're like, oh, that's too much Pepsi. And then you're like, wait. And then like, oh no, where's my Pepsi going? Oh no, Pep is gone. But now if I let it, look at this. It fills up, and when see, now it's full. And you see how it's like, it goes all over. It goes too far, right? And that's perfect. And then if you stop, see, at the surface should... Where surface? Hold on. The surface should have stayed. The reasons why it wouldn't. Number one, it's misnamed. I could have named it something else. I shouldn't have closed the particle editor. Where surface? It's like the monkey meme. Monkey meme, where? Is this one, exactly. This is me right now. Where meme? Where Pepsi? Where surface? Oh no. All right. Let's actually double check. SPL coffee surface, and it's this one. Does it disappear? It doesn't disappear. Shouldn't at least disappear. Okay, so let's see. So this actually stays forever. PS SPL coffee surface. PS SPL coffee surface. Yep. Do we create it? We preload it. We don't create it. Yes, correct. We do an overflow instead, which is wrong. This should be it. But then that doesn't necessarily explain why it was removed. Unless you can't have two of the same particle systems at one area, which I don't believe. Yeah. Okay, so one thing was definitely that it wasn't creating the right particle effect. The other thing is whether it is getting cleared or not. Well, let's see. Boom. Let's start pouring. Right? There's a lower thing, and then when you're done, there's a higher thing. And I stop. Oh, wow, look at this. Oh, fuck. It's getting... Why you fizzle away? Little coffee, you're supposed to be there. Wrong. It might be that two particle systems can be created on one place. So what we can do is not use GIMP. Well, actually, we might need GIMP for the snowflakes. We'll solve this one, do the snowflakes, and that'll be enough progress for today for sure. But it's looking very cool. Oh, maybe it shares the name. Maybe that's the issue. Coffee surface. I don't believe it, but let's be safe, right? So coffee surface. But let's also try and not create the other. So the overflow. We're not going to make the overflow. The question is, this filling one won't get cleared until you move away. So when the... I know what is happening. This isn't actually getting triggered. It's correct. I think we got it. So the problem is that this is getting triggered from two different places. The overflow actually happens here when pouring is done. So we need to create it here. So, okay, so we have two things that trigger the same thing. That usually means let's create a method for this. So let's have a coffee pouring, or let's say start coffee overflow effects, right? Where we're going to move these two lines so we don't repeat ourselves. And then instead of doing those two lines, we're just going to say, hey, start those overflow effects, both here and here. And it kind of reads a little better again, right? If the cup is full, start coffee overflow effects. Perfect. And then coffee pour done, set is cup full, and start coffee overflow effects. It might start them multiple times. That's the question here, though. Particle. Do we know? We don't know if the surface one is. It can create multiple surface effects on the same, like, tile, like on the same little area, but that's okay because they all will get cleared as soon as we're done. But okay, so that's mystery solved. Oh, I open everything except for the thing I wanted. And look at this. Okay, that looks good. Now, boom, it's kind of like filling up. That is so cool. And then boom, there's a surface. And if I stop, yes, look at this. No. Oh, yes. Oof. Okay, this is good. It's just kind of, there are angles where you kind of see through it because it like doesn't fill completely. But no, if you give it like enough time, I think the illusion is good. I think that, like, look at this. This is good. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is good. There's like, and look, if I start overflowing it, boom. So I think there's one extra little improvement that can happen. And that's right now, the overflow area is on two separate things, right? Coffee overflow area. I can lift, well, first duplicate this. Name this coffee surface area. Then take the overflow area. Oops, sorry, wrong. Overflow area, make it a little higher, like by this much. And let's copy the coffee surface area. Constant, that's not even close. Area, coffee surface. See, again, now we can have things named the same because there's PSI and this is area. They're factually different. We can, and again, we change it in one place only because we have the effects now. The coffee surface won't be created on the overflow area, but on the coffee surface area. So the actual surface of the coffee is a little lower, and then the overflow is lightly above it. So when you're pouring in, it actually looks like it's like filling, it's more full. It's to the edge almost, right? Like it's spilling out. And then when you stop, it's going to fade out and fade like a little lower. I'm not sure to what degree this is like realistic liquid simulation, but I think this will sell it, right? Like, so, hey, there you go, boom, and then here we go. Very cool. And then look, it fills, as this is the overflow. I think we can push it a little bit higher. So we're talking about the overflow, not the surface. Yeah, overflow. Even higher than that. I click everything but the game, and yet... I wish it at least had different icons. Okay, let's see. You're filling it. And then this is full. Look, see how it's like all the way to like the edge almost. And then if you let go, it like fizzles out from the edge and it's like properly full. And now, yep, there's like, it kind of appears, there's like a little hole there, but that's okay. Now if I put the lid on, boom. And the particle system from behind it actually cleared in the meantime. So now if I take it, I'm like, oh, I just have the coffee, right? And it kind of like sells the illusion. There's one little glitch apart from the cup disappearing. And that's if I'm quick, I will see the line. And I think I have a solution for that too, right? Like this is full. If I'm quick, boom, you see? See, you see the illusion. It's kind of fading out. Not the end of the world. I think it's understandable in Amnesia. I need to see it work properly once because otherwise I'm going to lose it. I think we can solve this by, it's this. It's the length of the, it's how long this live, like the particles live. So they have life. I can probably do a little improvemento. Boom. Yes. So it's about the life. Minimum and maximum. This is in seconds. How long it lives. If we shorten the life to 1, it kind of moves quicker. But it also disappears quicker. So if I, let's say, don't respawn, boom. This is how... Okay, 15. Oh, there you go. Wait, what? Do we have something below this? No, we don't. If I don't respawn particles, you're still gonna somehow, like, spawn them? Well, it basically, the life dictates how long, technically, before the fade out as well. Because what's happening is that we had 5 seconds that the particle system lives, And then after it's removed, it's up to 5 seconds that it's still going to be like alive. We should probably change the scaling, because some of them I feel like are too small. So what we're going to do, and that's going to fix the little like holes in it, you know? There is a size somewhere. So move, I guess start maybe? No, that's the position. Velocity, angles. Rendering. Yeah, there it is. Min size, max size. That's what we... Oh, I see what we did. We actually did start relative size, middle relative size. Ah, it gets up to 2 in the middle. If I do 2, 2, 2... There you go. Now it's like not... I mean, it's kind of wild then. What is this part? Middle relative start? 0? 1? 2? 1. Interesting. 0.5? Let's do 1 again. Yeah. So it doesn't like disappear. Yeah. It's interesting. It's something. It's quick. It's moving quick. Let's see what it will look like in the game. Because you never know. Like it's weird. Like it can look okay in the editor and then not. It really looks like more of a like Pepsi than like coffee or something. This is good. It's quick. It's really like, you see how it's like not quite. I think this is fine. Like, I mean, if you look at it from this angle, it really looks silly. But like if you're here, yeah, I think it does what. And then look, if I'm quick, I can't see the effect anymore, which that's the point. Please break normally. Thank you. I like how it was just a little spatter, even though it was. This is good though. Like, this feels right. This feels right. If the water, like if the actual like particle system from the spout was actually like full, like see, this is like okay, and then you let go of this, and oh yeah, like I got my coffee over here. What would you expect from like a custom story? Boom. See, this is good. Bam. Order up. And then big one. Let's do a coffee. Quickerino. Boom. Boom. Got coffee. I kind of saw it still. Ooh, did we break? No. Okay, it just takes longer. Okay, this is fine. That's perfectly fine. If the illusion occasionally breaks, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like if you're super Speedy Gonzalez, you know? Like if you like, even especially if you like do one of these. Oh, because, and it's also like the old particle system. Like the new one, the surface fizzled out fairly quickly, and then it's the overflow. So maybe we should shorten the lifetime of the overflow one as well. And I think that'll solve it. So let's go to the overflow, go to the surface, life, and let's have 1 second. It's a lightly different effect, but honestly, I think it's a good trade-off for having like the immediate responsiveness of like lingering only for like 1 second at a time. So I do speedy. I put it here. How this is going, I have no idea, but don't worry about it. See? And then 1 second. Yeah. And then the other spattering that we saw, I'm pretty sure that's from the overflow. And I think that's okay. I feel like that is fine. So I do this, spatters, I stop. Kind of spatters, boom. I start again. It fills up. I pause. I got some surface here. It's kind of maybe like bubbling. Maybe that's the illusion we're going for. I start again. It's overflowing. That's very cool. I stop. I put the lid. But if I'm like doing it for the trailer or something, I'll do slow like this. Boom. Order up. And then maybe there's a ringer. Ding, ding. Very cool. Boom. One more coffee. This looks good. This looks playable. Boom. See, if you're quick, you can see it, but honestly, it's fine. It's like a residue. This is good. This is very cool. All right. For the snow, though. Over there. See, those little particles, we'll see what they are made of. What made of? Snow. Water, technically. Uh-huh. Particle snow 1 matte. Ah, particle snow 1 matte. So this. So it's using one specific snow. One snow. One snow, please. Let us see what in the custom stories. What in the custom stories is that? Particles. There it is. And so it is here as a DDS. I don't know what sort of a ghoul, what sort of a ghoulish demon still uses DDS for this. I'm gonna use a TGA, okay? Because I'm not that much of a ghoul. Maybe a DDS is better. No, I'm not gonna let it. I'm not gonna let it get in my head. You can. So what you can do is when you're doing particles, you can actually decide how many there are per. Look. So if there's particles here and you do like, I don't know, like hit maybe? No. Is there one that I can view? Oh, they don't have the materials here. Oh, materials. It's in the materials section. If you look at this, like there are some like this fire or this one. Like there's so many different. Like this one is also almost like animated, right? Like it has different frames. Or there's like 2 and 2. So this is variation. You get to tell it like, hey, there's like 2 by 2. And it's gonna go, oh, okay, so I'll randomly pick them. So this is basically what we're gonna be doing. Hopefully this should be super relatively quick. Yeah, this should be super quick. So let's say we pick the fire, right? Like now, every single, you see that? Like every single like snowflake is that like 2 by 2 of fire. Like it's like kind of, oh, it's like, it looks interesting. It's a thing. Maybe let's actually have a background color of like black so we see it a little better. I don't believe that like this will get much better, but yeah. So this is like so that's the thing. But what we can do is there's a number of, no, not number of files, animation length. Number of files. Convinced that, oh, subdivision, amount. Yeah. Type random. This is what it is. So now if we do that, it's a subdivision 2 and 2, and it picks random. So then it picks randomly from those like little ones, right? So it's like one specific one. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a texture kind of like this, although I feel like maybe we can go bigger. Let's see what size they have for particle materials, especially the one that we've seen. Like the one, what was it called? I keep going to this forbidden cup. Okay, I'm going to close it and then watch how I'm going to need it in like 3 seconds. It's called Candle? Yeah, it's called PS Fire Candle. So let's see. PS Fire Candle. PS Fire Candle. PS Fly. Just do fire underscore candle. Yeah, there it is. Let's open that in GIMP. Right? Hopefully in another tab. Open. Okay, this is 128 by 128. So it isn't actually much bigger. So let's make a new one of our own. 128 by 128. And you know what we're gonna... No, this is not the type of color I was going for. That would be a weird ass snow. But we're gonna go and just search for snowflake texture. We just need like one. Not the texture. Maybe we can just straight up do snowflake and then do like colors, no, types, transparent. So it's just an individual one. Ooh, ideally if we had like a set like this, that's kind of cool. Or maybe like looking for like a, maybe a realistic one like this. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Although it might be, or if the, let's try these like blue ones and then maybe we'll see if we can change them. Like recolor them. I don't know where I pasted it, where it is. Anyone's guess. There it is. It was 4,000 pixels. So let's see how this even looks when yeah, when it's like this scale. Then let's put a background that's like full black so we can... Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot the overlay, of course. Boom. We'll put like a background here, right? So it's... We can see we have our blue snowflakes. And maybe blue snowflakes are cool. Maybe not. We will see. We will see. And we'll do like snowflakes. Snowflaker. What they call me? I'm the snowflaker. Stream test particles, and then this one for sure. And let's do, I guess. Oh wow! Look at the. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, particle. I think they prefix it with particle. Particle snowflakes TGA. And yeah, sure. And then here, instead, oh, we need a material. So we need a magical thing called material editor. Don't. It's one of the evil ones. Don't worry about it. There it is. There it is. Material editor in its full glory. So what we do is we're making a new material. And so we're going to make a... I think you create... No, that's animation. Don't worry about it. Diffuse. You start with diffuse. And you go for... Custom story, stream test, particles, this. And then we open the flakes. But the flakes, by default... You don't see any previews here. Very cool. Very cool. Let's do translucent maybe. Yep, there you go. That's better. And then we have a cube map alpha, which I think you can use this. No, you can't. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Not working. Physics, whatever. Blend mode. There we go. I think there should be a good blend mode for this. Alpha. There it is. Look at this. It's interesting. Maybe we'll do it like, maybe if we recolor it white, it's going to be better, but we'll see. For now, this is like actually fine. Physics material, we don't care. I think this is fine, right? Refraction. Affected by light. This is okay. Save it. And we'll save it again. Custom stories, boom, boom, particles, this. But as particle snowflakes. Right, and now here we will select this from our custom stories here. Now we don't see anything. Just truly magical. It's the most magical one. I am tempted to restart this. the particle editor, because when it loaded, this material wasn't in existence. And I don't even know if this, like, if you can use this type of material, if you can, if you don't have to like specify it in some like special way. Okay, so it's back, snowing again. We're going to go to the rendering or color or whatever material, one of those. It is appearing, but it's like dark blue. Good. I mean, good-ish. If we do 2 by 2, yeah, they are appearing. I think that we need to make them white. I think we need to. Let's do colorize, white, boom. Because I think that tint, plus we can tint them in the other, like in editor. If you keep something completely white, then you can recolor it inside the editor here. As you can see, like this should just, oops, this should just update. Like you don't really need to save it because nothing changed about the material. But here it won't quite update. So what we're going to do is we're going to save it as like our snow, so SPL snow. And we're going to try it in actually the level editor and then just refresh the game. So here, this is the original snow. And we're going to change the particle system here to be custom stories, this, particles, and we're going to use SPL snow. Boom. It might happen that it doesn't quite... Oh, it does load. This looks good. This looks fantastic. Let's actually see inside the game. Inside membrane, inside brain, whatever. Refresh. Let It Snow should be playing or something. Wait, is that still the freaking old one? Oh no, it's not. You see? Did you see how when it gets close, when they get close, they you can see like the detail, the actual individual snowflakes, and they're like different. It's really subtle. It definitely is, but I feel like that adds so much. Actually, you know what? Let's just make it snow a lot heavier. Let's just double this up, triple this up, triple the snow. Yes. And then boom, it's 3 times the snow. Ooh, that's a lot heavier. There you go. Wow. See, and you can kind of like, you can kind of, I mean, Twitch compression probably does not help this at all, but you really can, at least like on my screen, I can truly see individual, like, oh, that one was like, there was one that was super close. You can really see like the individual snowflake, like from the distance, it looks almost identical to basically what it had before, right? Which was just sort of white blobs. But if you, as if one sort of like it really hits you or one goes super, super close, you actually see like the real snowflake shape. That was one as well. Yeah, see, oh, that one was super cool. Like that one was pretty visible, right? This is cool. This is huge. I feel like we improved snow. Like that, you see that? I think this is so pretty. Genuinely. Such a small thing. Oh, see that one? I don't know why this makes me so happy, but like, look at that. Whee. This is pretty. You do things. Yes, I do game. I have little coffee. No, never mind. I had little coffee. Look, I hold my little coffee. I do sip. And I break coffee. Yes, spill. You know what? I make new coffee for myself. Oh, boom, boom, boom. It looks like water poured in. That's a feature here. There you go. It's there. I close. I have. Yes. Very cool. Okay. I think that'll do it. Does it bug? It didn't bug. The last one didn't bug. Very cool. Ah, look at that. That is like, that's fantastic. There it is. There it is. So this is what we have. That's what it about is. By the way, I I know that it is a little dark. We have, sorry, I have 1.05 gamma. That means that to truly simulate what is going on in terms of like color correction, gamma should be 0.5 lifted. This is actually what it looks like on my screen, which now that I have it like set, did it actually improve? I feel like it did a little bit, but maybe I'm just hallucinating. Yeah. Let me just look around a little bit. Yeah, no, this is fine. So this is it. That would be it for part 1, where we were able to, well, apart from this gorgeous snowflake system that, I mean, we didn't really make it, right? Like, we took the original snow, I don't even know where it was taken from. Maybe that was taken from Machine for Pigs. Maybe it was like made by another modder. I wish who it was so that I could like thank them. We updated it or improved it maybe a little bit for our use case at the very least by including a variation of 4 different snowflakes from the atlas over here, which those are the different like ones. It still looks so cool. You can barely tell in the distance, but you can tell in the up close. I feel like maybe I'm seeing like the same one close, and then no, I feel like I saw a couple of different ones, right? Yeah, I think there's variation, right? We will know if it is set to random here. Yeah, it is set to random. Okay, so then it has to be. They just look kind of similar when they're like flying by you. So we did that, and then we implemented the full sort of coffee mechanic, where the coffee maker doesn't do anything if you don't have a cup. You have to put a cup there. You can't put the lid on top of the empty cup. You have to, boom, 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 fill it first. The filling ends up being in the overflow state, which is this one, where it's kind of like flowing upwards. If you stop, the coffee surface is still there. Once we start filling it up again, it still overflows. All good. And then if we put the lid on it, we have our coffee object. The coffee object sometimes bugs when it disappears instead of like acting physics-based like this one did, which I'm happy that that one didn't bug out. But that is okay. I feel like that's at that point, that's physics based on Amnesia, you know, like you can't really like do much. So that's it. And then in the next episode, in the next part, I suppose we're going to start implementing possibly the actual like people, like boom, customer, hey, show up, hey, give me coffee. And I go, oh, okay, boom, boom. Click a thing, maybe the dinging thing, the little bell. That'll be just cool too. What we also will implement is a source of cups and source of lids. So maybe one of those like machines that like, you know, there's a lid there, and when you grab it, it like lets go, and then another one appears there a little bit later, like it falls almost a little bit. And then of course the cup dispenser as well. Dispenser is the word I was looking for. The design and everything is of course like fairly temporary. We're gonna improve all of this with as time goes on. This is just a quick little thing I threw in threw together in Blender, but it sells the idea. I feel like we also look at this. We also have the paper cups, so we're kind of like saving turtles or whatever. But then we have a plastic lid, so maybe we don't save any turtles. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you to those watching. And thank you to those watching on YouTube. You're watching the VOD. And there is no schedule. Look at this. That's a good one. We will continue at some other time. The release date for this is basically Christmas, right? So Christmas. Well, we kind of like have this month and December to implement something pretty good. I don't know how much of it will be actually streamed. There's a good chance that a lot of the story bits and stuff like won't get streamed, voice acting, that sort of a thing. But I'm sure that all of the mechanics, all of the gameplay mechanics, I want to stream into a set of tutorials, because honestly, like, this is, we're doing some pretty cool stuff, right? That you can do yourself with Amnesia. I mean, honestly, if you buy Amnesia: The Dark Descent, the game comes with all of these editors. It's super easy to get something up and running. And so, yeah, if you follow this series in some way, it's a bit of a crash course. You see firsthand how things are done, including the code and the way we structure things for a, I mean, relatively big project. It's not like anything super huge, but it is definitely not a tiny custom story. So, yeah, I'm glad this went this smoothly, this well. We got something pretty good going. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next stream or wherever. All right. See ya. And see, by the way, we can see now that it's frozen. You can see top right, there's a unique snowflake, and then top left, there's another one, right? Those are actually working. All right. See you guys later. Goodbye.